Welcome back, everybody, to Out at Reese's podcast. I'm your host, Reese Shalvis, and joining us once again, my friend Hunter Vodopich.
What can I say? I'm back to it, you know?
Yeah, he's back on it. I didn't scare him away the first time, so.
Almost.
And
Pretty
special
close.
guest, Macy. Oh, she's walking away.
She's out.
Macy, Macy, come here.
She's like,
Come here, Macy. Macy, come here. Let's show her. Macy, look at the camera. Here's
she
Macy.
don't even know. She's too good for this showbiz, man.
Yeah, she's.
I'm already famous. I don't need more of this
She
publicity.
doesn't need more publicity. She's
Yeah.
too rich and famous.
Really, she is.
How you been, man?
I've been good. What about you?
Oh, it's been crazy.
Yeah. Pretty crazy couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've been a lot of stressing, a lot of stuff, but
Yeah.
which I don't want to go into right now. But one day I want to look back
One
and
day
go
we'll
into
get
it.
to it.
We'll get to that. But yeah, other than that, I've been doing amazing, bro.
Nice.
These past couple of days, I've felt better than ever, and
Good.
it's been I haven't felt this good in a really long time. You know,
That's awesome, man. Heck yeah.
it's been crazy. Yeah, what have you been up to lately?
Oh man, just work. I got into chess. I was telling you about that.
I got into
earlier.
that recently
Yeah,
too.
dude.
I was it was like a couple weeks ago. I was playing it with my friend Christian,
Oh, okay.
and who you just met.
Oh, okay,
And,
him. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, he just brought his chessboard, and because I've been seeing stuff online, and I realized, like, after learning chess myself, like just how to play it, I realized you can look at life like a game of chess.
Yeah.
You know, you can
Yeah.
apply the same concept of outsmarting, the opponent, playing certain moves, right? But
Yeah.
like that concept to life, and it's almost like you can see the world differently, and you almost like, okay, I just got to figure this out like a game of chess.
Yeah,
right?
like life's just a giant strategy game that you
Right.
gotta try and figure out. Yeah,
like when something happens, right? When there's if you're struggling with something or going through something, right? That's just the opponent, right? And you got to outsmart them and beat that. It's like everything you go through is essentially a chess match, and you got to outsmart it
okay.
and beat it. And then once you beat it, it'll take you one way. If you lose, it takes you another way, right? It takes you to the next opponent, which could be a harder opponent or an easier opponent.
That's true, but regardless, you get to the next opponent though.
Exactly.
As long as you move through,
You're always going to be running into opponents.
there you heck yeah, chess is
Dude, that's cool.
chess is freaking neat, dude.
It's so cool. It's like, I actually went to Evermore Park last night.
Okay, nice.
Have you heard of that?
I have.
For you guys that aren't from Utah, Evermore Park is like a fantasy theme park, or like medieval Renaissance fantasy type theme park.
Kind of like if you were to take like D&D and just make it a real thing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's this Vikings chess,
Oh,
which
really?
apparently is 500 years older than regular chess.
So Vikings originally created chess.
Maybe. I mean,
Like, we're going to pillage and kill all these people, but man, once we're done, we're going to sit down and play a sophisticated game
exactly.
together.
It's cool. This kid was explaining to me the rules, but it was chess is such an interesting concept because it's like it really does take every process in your brain to like you're just apparently you lose calories
Really?
or burn calories playing chess.
Oh, really? I wouldn't have guessed that.
I think what I read online is like between a day of playing chess, like at a chess tournament, they can burn anywhere between like 500 to 1,000 calories.
That's a
or
significant
something.
amount just for like moving pieces.
Well, because I
dude.
think it's like the brain,
brain
processes
brain
that are just
activity,
really
yeah.
working your brain, and I really want to look into that more because it's like if I can burn calories playing chess, like
just get good at chess.
exactly,
Dude.
bro.
Get beefy, dude.
like it's what day is it? It's chess day.
It's chess day. Every day is chess day, bro. Skip out on legs, only chess.
Oh yeah. So you've been working out, right?
Yeah. I've been going to the gym. I've kind of been more focusing on trying to get my form good before I like really dive into it. So I have a whole journal that I've been writing down. Like,
a journal. So you're taking it real
I got
serious,
dude. Like I'm trying to. Here's what I thought, dude. I was like, I would be so disappointed in myself if I lived a whole life and and I'm on my deathbed, dude, and I'm like, dude, I never even knew what my physical capability was. I never saw myself with a six pack. Like I never saw how good I could look. So I'm trying to dive into it and like really be good at it because I don't want to be at the end of my life and be like, dang, dude, like I accomplished like all these other things, but I really couldn't have shown up for myself physically. Like I don't want to reach that point, you know?
I want to repeat something that, do you know who David Goggins is?
No.
He's like this ex-Navy SEAL, like crazy fit guy, holds the world record for most pull-ups or something like that, right?
Okay.
Or is either push-ups or pull-ups. I can't remember. He's very popular now.
Gotcha.
And he was talking about he said that he gave a hypothetical scenario where he dies, goes to heaven, and in heaven, let's say he's at the gates and God's talking to him, and he has a list of, it says it's like a list that says David Goggins, his name, and a list of, like, let's say this David Goggins that did go to heaven wasn't the one he is today. Let's say it was just if he had stayed at his job before he actually became big and did all this stuff.
Just like an average guy.
Yeah, he used to be like kind of fat, used to be very out of shape, just working for, I can't remember what job he worked. Something that obviously it wouldn't really be that fun to work.
Gotcha.
And he was and just lived his life like that instead of accomplishing everything he did. And on this list, it said David Goggins, and then had ex-Navy SEAL, holds world record for push-ups or pull-ups or whatever. All this really fit, ran this like marathon, whatever. All this list of everything he's accomplished.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait, this isn't me. I did this. I never got fit. I never got that. And God says, yes, but this is who you're supposed to be.
Oh, dang. See, that's exactly like the same thing, dude. I don't want to reach that point and be like, that's who I was supposed to be. I want to be that dude, so I got to put in the work to be that guy.
I literally just heard that story on Instagram like yesterday, so,
really?
So I was just repeating it because I was like, he was on a podcast
just
too.
fresh in your memory.
Yeah, I was just like, it made me think about that, and I was like, you know what? He's right. Like,
100%.
I want to be the best I can.
Yeah, you don't want to
be who I'm supposed to be in this lifetime.
Yeah,
Everyone
talks about like I don't know if you've seen like people that go around and they ask old people like, "What's your biggest regret?" And they're like, a lot of them say like, "I wish I didn't work too hard," or like loving people. Like there's a whole lot of regret, but at the same time, you don't want to reach the end and have the biggest regret being, "Oh, you didn't work hard enough."
Wish I did more.
Yeah, I wish I did more. I feel like that personally would be more of a regret than being old and being like, oh, I wish I didn't work as much.
Right.
I feel like not doing anything would be worse.
Oh, 100%. And it's a struggle to think and know. It's like, it's super hard because you think, man, I know I could be more.
Yeah.
But I'm not there. So you're constantly like trying to like strive to be better, and it can be stressful. It can be really hard on you because you can be better, but you're not.
Yeah.
In that sense, right? Because I think everybody can be better, no matter everyone, right? Yeah. And so knowing you're never better, I mean, but it's also very positive to look back and think, wow, but I have improved. Like if, like say now I'm like, I want to be better, but I'm not better yet. A year from now, when I know I'm going to be better, I can look back and think, wow, I did become better and I still want to be better.
Yeah.
So you have something to constantly look forward to of just striving to be better.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So you said you lost quite a bit of weight so far, right?
I did. Yeah. I've lost almost 50 pounds.
Wow.
About I think when we first talked about it, I lost 40. I've lost almost
another
10.
That's insane.
So I'm slowly getting there. I'm losing weight, but I also think I'm technically losing muscle too because I'm not doing like muscle training a whole lot.
Yeah, well, I think when it comes to cutting out like fat and stuff, it's a lot like, because I think if I'm right, correct me anyone or correct me if I'm wrong, but when you're cutting out muscle, usually the techniques to do so isn't how you're going to be building.
Yeah.
Growing muscle like big, right? So
yeah.
So as you cut down your muscle, you're going to lose a lot of weight, but you won't also at the same time have massive muscles. It's like, I think I've heard people doing it two ways. They slim down a crap ton and then start bulking and trying to build their muscle up. Or they bulk first, become just huge muscles, and then start slimming down.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense, yeah. I haven't really decided which route I'm going on. But right now, like I said, I'm still like building just like the building blocks of the whole physical pyramid that I want to get to. So I'm trying to get the form down. I'm trying to get into the habit of going all the time.
Right.
I'm trying to get in the habit of eating right and meal prepping and stuff. So
yeah, and mine's been weird though, because I've been at my weight. I've been at 170 for the last year and a half, 2 years. Basically just honestly probably 3 years now.
Mhm.
Now, when I really started taking working out seriously, the weirdest thing I noticed was my shoulders and upper body started really developing.
Mhm.
I noticed I started like slimming down, becoming more toned,
Yeah.
but my weight stayed the exact same. Right, I've actually lost a few pounds now, finally, because I've been wanting to get down to 165, and then to really start trying to work on my muscles. But it's weird how long I maintained the 170 weight, while still building my muscles and toning out. It was weird. I was like, how is this possible?
That is interesting.
I don't know. It's like, how am I still 170 when I've gotten a lot more muscle now?
Yeah.
And it's like, it almost like just balanced it out.
Yeah,
right?
I guess it probably is something to do with balancing out. Like, you've lost, even though you're not a fat dude by any means at all, you've lost X amount of fat.
Right.
And you gained X amount of muscle, so it just kind of balances out.
I don't know how, because I know most people will usually do one or the other first and then do the other. So I mean, I'm sure people know exactly.
Someone out there knows
exactly,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
There's a lot of smart people out there, but yeah, it's been working out is like insane. I truly believe eating healthy, working out, and drinking plenty of water can cure most mental illnesses when it's based on a balance of chemicals in your brain.
I would also agree with that. Yeah.
It's like a lot of people will go on depression medicine when they're depressed for years.
Yeah.
And I actually don't fully believe in medication in that sense.
I don't either. Yeah, I'm the same way.
I do think if you need to use it at first, because sometimes you do need a little help to get out of a slump, right?
Exactly.
And get out. But don't think if you're going on to the medicine, don't think, well, this is gonna help me for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
I think use it to feel better for the next few days, and then use that extra energy to focus. Okay, how can I improve myself? Right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will complain and be like, man, why do I have no energy? Why am I so depressed? Why am I so unmotivated, feeling so lazy? Oh, but I'm going to go eat this McDonald's now. I'm going to watch this TV show for 5 hours. I'm going to... Water? What is that? I like Mountain Dew. I like Dr. Pepper.
Exactly.
Like energy drinks. And it's like, man, if you switch to water, cut out soda, drink at least half a gallon of water a day. If you stopped eating McDonald's or whatever unhealthy junk food you're eating and just switch to healthier stuff, and maybe started getting a little physical activity, even if it's just running 5 minutes a day or doing 20 push-ups a day, 20 sit-ups, or whatever you're able to do, right?
Yeah.
You'll notice like your sleep gets better. You'll have more energy. You'll feel more motivated to do stuff with your life, and you'll notice you're not getting depressed as much or feeling so down as much. And at that point you can decide, I don't need depression medicine because this is helping. I mean, use it until you need to, but you got to really be careful because you don't want to become hooked on that.
Exactly. Kind of something to back that up. So my brother, I don't know if I've ever told you about him recently, but he's recently in the past years, he's been in like a really rough spot. But before then, he was into working out. He would walk on his treadmill every day. He'd go outside. He'd read all the time. He was doing really good. Like, he was happy. And then he stopped doing all those things. And now he's in a terrible state of mind, like horrible. And the weirdest thing about it is he knows like that these things make him happy, but he doesn't have the motivation to try and do them again.
Exactly. And that's why I do think that maybe if you needed to use a little bit of medicine to help get you out of that, but that really, because I totally understand that feeling of like, I know what I need to do to feel better. I just
can't do it.
I don't. And sometimes it's like you almost just don't care to, right? Because it's like your mindset switches so much to where you just do not care to get better. You're like, I mean, I want to be better. It's just I don't care to actually put in the effort because it's just in your mind. It seems like an impossible feat almost, right? Yeah. And even though it's not, it's like I think you have to really trick yourself and brainwash yourself to know, you know what, I can do this. But that's the hardest part, to really to actually believe it.
That is the hardest part. You need to. It takes a hard amount of discipline to actually do that. And when you're in a bad state like that, you lack all of that discipline.
Exactly, and it's a huge dilemma.
It really is, and that's like got to be like one of the most mentally draining things ever too, because you're like, man, I want to get better and I know how to get better, but then there's that voice that's like, but like, let's not, you know?
Right, you're like, but it's easier to just chill here and do nothing.
It's like, why would you go do that when we could like watch some more TV or eat these chips, you know? Like, why would you go and make yourself tired?
DoorDash some McDonald's, you know?
Like, why drive and eat? Like, I fully get why the slumps and stuff happen and how hard it is, and I wish it was different, but like that's just how depression works. It's just a horrible thing.
Earlier this year, I've talked about this a few times on other podcasts. There were several periods of time this year where I was going through a deep, like, depressive feeling and that I couldn't get out of. I just felt like I felt trapped. And because of that, I specifically would be like, which this was my biggest mistake. I usually work out almost every night with my brother.
Gotcha.
And during these periods of time, I'd be like, you know, I'm just not feeling well. I think I'm going to hold off from working out for a little bit, but I'll let you know when I'm ready. But because of that, it made me worse. It made me even further down. And I'm like, and after realizing that, even just within the last like 6 months of realizing that, I realized I can't let myself stop doing these things because I don't feel good. Yeah. That's going to make me worse. And I think that's the problem is a lot of people, when they start to feel these emotions, they think, I don't have the mental capacity to do this thing. And so they're like, so I'm going to take a break. But taking a break from that is the worst thing you could do when you're feeling that way. You know what I mean? And
I would say sometimes you do need a break, though.
I do agree with that. I do what you mean. But in the sense I'm talking about is like indefinitely stopping, where you're like, I don't know when I'm going to start again.
Kind of just keep pushing it off.
Yeah, because you're like I might need a couple weeks off. Like,
yeah, that's a bit, because I'd understand, like, because I don't think I've had depressive episodes.
Right.
I've never had like legitimate depression. Like, I've been down in the dumps before, but I'm not going to claim that I know what real depression's like. But I've had days where I'm like, okay, today I just need a me day, you know? Like, I can't do any of it just today. And that can be a good thing as long as the next day you don't say the exact same stuff.
Exactly.
As long as the next day you get back up and you keep working, then you can get out of that. But actual, like, real clinical depression's probably a bit different.
Right, yeah. It's definitely, like, it really is a balance of taking, all right, when do I need to kind of slow down a little bit?
Yeah.
When can I speed up again? But, like, to say, man, I don't feel good. I might be done working out for a while, man. Like, that's what I texted my brother. That was my biggest mistake. Because I thought, you know what? If I just take a couple weeks off, take a few weeks break, I'll be good to go in a few weeks. Yeah. A few weeks go by through my depressed. I was horrible every single day. No motivation. I felt burnt out from everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Like, when you're waking up, I was like, I don't want to wake up. Going to bed, I don't want to go to sleep. I don't want to talk to friends, but I also don't want to be alone. Because I just felt burnt out of talking to friends. But I was burnt out from being alone. I was like, it was the worst time that I felt mentally, because
a constant back and forth battle.
Exactly. And it was like so contradicting everything. And it was finally when I found a drive to get fit again. I started going I was like, you know what? I have to go to the gym. I don't care how I feel. I have to go to the gym. And that's how I realized, you know, I had certain problems that were causing that depression and that you know, that the way I was being down. So I was finally like, you know, I have to force myself to go, because doing nothing is making it worse. And it's like, it was really hard to realize that, you know.
Nice.
So
something that kind of with lack of motivation, when I started the gym, like, you really do have to force yourself to go. Like, if you don't want to go. And I saw this video, and it was just this dumb little thing, but I've done it every day since, and it helps me with every aspect. There was this little video that I saw online, and it was like, everything you do for the next week, just count down from 5, and after you hit 1, get up and do it, whether you want to do it or not. And I was like, this is stupid, and it's not going to work. but I'll do it. But for some reason, like giving myself a 5-second countdown hypes me up kind of. I'm like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, back to it. And I get up and I go to the gym, or I get up and go to work and I do stuff.
And it works?
And for some reason it works. I don't understand why.
Interesting. Even like just waking up in the morning, like I need to get out of bed.
Yeah, like waking up, because I'll wake up, and I used to not be as bad about it, but recently I've gotten bad to where I play on my phone when I wake up.
That's me too. I feel you there.
I used to try and not do that, but now I'm bad at it. And now I'll get lost in like TikTok or Facebook, dude, and I'll be like, okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn the phone off. I get up. I get dressed.
That's
I
awesome.
get ready, and then but for some reason, just a little countdown has helped me immensely, and I don't know why, but it does.
You know, my brother actually told me to try that, and I never did. Honestly, for 2 reasons. So like he was just like, because I really struggle to wake up in the morning, and so I was like, man, I don't know how to get up, and he was like, try this, and he literally would tell me count down from 10 or 5 or whatever, right? And as soon as you hit 1 or 0, like just get up and you do it. And I'm like, he says it makes it way easier. I was like, okay. I wake up in the morning. I don't even think to do that. I'm like, oh, this sucks. I want to sleep more. You know, like I can't even remember the technique. That's the first reason why I did it. Second one is a part of me is like, but would that really work? So it's like it's hard. It was really hard to actually tell myself, all right, just do it.
Yeah.
You know. So
no, it's definitely. And I didn't start doing. I literally when I first did it, I only did it for the gym. Because I didn't want to go. I got home from a physical labor job. I didn't want to do anything. I was like, but I need to go. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, up, pre-workout, gym clothes, out the door. Yeah. And then I started doing it in the mornings when I caught myself playing on my phone. I was like, all right, man, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, put it down, let's go. Yeah. Like, so it helped me a lot.
I'm definitely going to have to try that. Now that I've had 2 people tell me it works, I have to try it,
I would recommend it. It's interesting.
Third person's the charm, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know the psychological effects, but for some reason it works. For me, at least.
And I like the fact that you can apply it to essentially anything in your life, right? Yeah. Just like, I need to clean the dishes. Ugh, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you're boom cleaning the dishes. Yeah. I gotta try that. Really, like that sounds interesting. That sounds beneficial.
So I'd recommend it to anybody. So just give yourself a countdown.
Well, how else do you keep yourself motivated? Like what else? What other techniques do you have that you use to kind of just get yourself out of a slump?
Depends on the type of slump, I guess. Anything specific?
That makes sense. Like if you're just other than the 5-second rule, like just. If you're just feeling unmotivated to do anything.
I always think about like the future me.
Yeah.
And if it's like something healthy as in like working out or eating, it's like, man, one day I want to be 40 years old and still be able to like snowboard with my kids or do all this stuff with my kids. And I don't even have kids right now, but I want when I'm older to be able to be healthy enough to do that.
Right.
Or so I think about my future self a whole lot.
So just basically where you could be if you just put in the effort.
Yeah.
If you put in the effort now, you're thinking about where you could be, right? And what you could accomplish.
Yeah, and I do that a lot. And then there's a little darker side to it. Sometimes I bully myself. if I catch myself doing something lazy or whatever, and it's probably not mentally healthy, but it works for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, you stupid fat loser. Like, stop doing that. Like, seriously, you're pathetic. And I'll be like, you're right, brain. You're right.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I actually have done that in a different way, though. I haven't done it in a long time. I haven't talked to him in a while, but sometimes I'd go to the mirror. It's like every so often I'd go into the bathroom and just stare at myself in the mirror. Now, I'd literally imagine the reflection I'm seeing as someone completely different, and I would yell at myself. I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah. What are you doing with your life right now? What are you doing? And as I imagined myself as I said this, as someone else screaming at me, or just another version of me looking at myself, it's really like, oh shit, I gotta get going. And I literally, like, as weird as this sounds, I can't believe I'm opening up about this. It's a little embarrassing. I'd have a conversation with myself in the mirror, back and forth. I'd say stuff, and I'm getting mad at myself for imagining that it's the reflection me saying it. And then when I respond, I imagine I'm saying it to the reflection. And it's like, I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why aren't you doing this? Like, you got to get your shit together. Your life is my life. Whatever you do, I'm your reflection. But, bitch, like, your life is my life. Like, you can't throw this shit away. I'm just a reflection. I can't do shit to improve your life. You have to do that.
Exactly.
This is our life, and it's like, and I just like, occasionally, like, after that, I'd do my shit, and it actually helped me stay motivated. And then as I'd kind of fall down again, like maybe a few months later, I'd go back to the mirror and be like, we're here again, bro? Like, really?
Right back here.
Like, come on, bro. What the fuck did I tell you last time? And so it's just like, you're right. I got to do shit. Like, just having pep talks with yourself.
Oh, it's amazing,
like,
dude. It's so good.
It's like, it works. It, like, helps, you know?
Yeah,
it's like
as much as, like, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, as much as I use that and everything else, the only thing that gets me hyped up and pumped is to get mad at myself,
exactly.
dude. If I get mad at myself, I'm like, nah, I'm going to prove this motherfucker wrong, bro.
I don't know the psychology behind it. I don't even know if it's healthy to get mad at yourself.
Yeah,
but if it's working, wouldn't it be considered healthy? Because you're
would
being negative
imagine
towards yourself in a positive way, right?
Yeah, you're trying to help yourself push forward when you don't
It's like
want to.
scolding yourself when you need it, you know? And
Exactly.
so it's like, you're right, I need to be better.
Yeah.
You know?
So if you're telling yourself, like, man, you kind of fucking suck right now, you're like, yeah, you're right. You're right. I really should do better. I feel like that can't be. Maybe it is a little unhealthy. Like, maybe a little bit. I don't know, though. But I'm not a psychologist by any means.
I mean, I don't know, because to be honest, there's certain people I'll watch online, and they'll point out certain lifestyles that I live, and they're like, why are you wasting your time? Like, they're like almost saying it like they're scolding you and mad at you, like these inspirational speakers. They're like, how could you be wasting your time doing this shit when you could be doing this and being better?
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, you're right. I gotta do that.
So I gotta do it.
Like, fuck you. I gotta get my shit together. Like, it's like, I think I wouldn't even say any of it's negative. I would just say it's just a direct, like, you need to do this.
Yeah.
You're not just insulting yourself for no reason. You're not, you're a piece of shit. Like, what's wrong with you? You no one likes you. Like, you're a loser. And you're like just wallowing in self-pity, like, yeah, I'm a loser. Whatever. I guess I'm a loser. You know, it's not that, like, that's negative, right?
Yeah, that is negative.
But when you're just telling yourself, no, you need to get your shit together. Like, you need to be better. You need to make yourself not feel like a loser. Instead of just saying, you're a loser.
You're a loser. There's nothing you can do.
Make yourself not a loser. How can you do that? You got to do that.
Yeah.
Here's what you got to do.
That makes sense. Because, like,
you know?
Yeah, there's the whole, like, wallow in self-pity, and it is like, oh, you're a loser. Yeah, I'm a loser. I'm just going to sit and not do anything.
Right,
like,
exactly.
Yeah, you're a loser. That's exactly what a loser would do. But then if you, like, hype yourself up, like, dude, you're a loser, but you're supposed to be a badass, bro. Like, what are you doing?
Right, exactly.
Like, you got to hype yourself up
just
sometimes.
Go for it, man.
Yeah.
It is so hard, though. You know, it's like, as easy as it is to just talk about this and be like, yeah, you got to do this and say this. In actual practice, it's the hardest thing you'll ever do in your life.
Easier said than done.
Right.
It's very difficult to do, yeah.
Because you can have a million motivational speakers speak to you, and you'd be like, I feel good, I want to do this. Then you go to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
they can pump you up so much, but really, if you're, like, not pumped up at the same time, like, you're not going to do it. Like, you can be like, oh, man, those words, they gave me chills. Like, yeah, he's right, I'm changing. But if you really don't have the 100% commitment to make that change, it's not really going to happen, you know?
You know, getting into that, like, there's actually, like, something I've been thinking about lately. When it comes to bettering yourself, becoming successful, I think the problem is we fall into these routine lifestyles. So, like, for example, it's like, I'm going to wake up in the morning, let's say just be on my phone for 20 minutes, get up, shower, get ready for work, 8 hours, I hate work, get home, all right, first 8 hours is work, last 4 hours is my free time. I'm going to watch TV, eat my food, play video games, whatever, maybe hit the gym, right? And you fall into the same routine. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And what I think the hardest thing to do is to get to where you want to be, to constantly better yourself. Now, it can take time, so it's okay if you don't just suddenly change it overnight. You really have to completely alter your lifestyle.
Oh, yeah.
Like, to the point where when you are going out of your way to be productive, clean those dishes, hit the gym, it's not just, at first it just feels like, because of your lifestyle, you're going to feel this is a chore to do.
Yeah.
It feels like a chore. When you are able to change your lifestyle, like truly change it, where this is your lifestyle now, it's not, oh, I got to work out. Oh, that's a chore. It becomes, oh, time to work out.
Yeah, so it's like a habit.
Oh, time to work on a video. It's the same way you look at, oh, I got home, now I can work, now I can play video games. Oh, I can watch TV now. It literally becomes, oh, I got home, now I can hit the gym.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, now I can work on this video. Now I can work on this podcast.
You get hyped for other things.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
I'm still working so hard to do that. It's really, that's the thing. It's so hard. It's way easier said than done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to get that figured out with my podcast, with everything, right? But that's literally what it becomes. Is it becomes a lifestyle, you know?
There's, oh man, I just had a thought and it was just gone.
It's all good.
No, yeah. So a lot of people, they also like bite off more than they can chew with that.
Oh,
like the biggest thing anyone can remember is baby steps, dude. Like everyone says baby steps. There's a reason everyone says baby steps, because if you do too much, no matter how many times you try to do better yourself, if you bite off more than you can chew, you're gonna fall right back in every single time.
I've been a victim of that countless times. Like I will sit there and be like, all right, you know what? I need to get my shit together. I'm gonna plan my new lifestyle. So I'm like literally creating a schedule on an Excel sheet, and I'm like 8 o'clock work, 4 o'clock get home, 4:30 eat snack, like just to like get an energy boost or something. 5 o'clock be productive doing this YouTube video for 2 hours every day for 2 hours. Then every day at 7, I'm going to edit or brainstorm for an hour, and then every day after, and then the next hour every day I'm gonna do this, that, and I'm like, I'm gonna stick to this very strict schedule.
Yeah.
And it's like the strict schedule is like so much compared to what I was doing previously. I get burnt out, and I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
This is so hard. And
exactly.
I've fallen victim of that so many times where I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna try it again. I think I can actually. I just need the willpower. I just need to use all my willpower to do it. And I fall back to doing nothing. I'm like, oh, this is hard. And then finally, I figured it out. I figured that out where I've been biting off too much than I can chew.
Way too much, man.
So I was like, all right, I need to. One thing at a time. You know what? I'm going to continue as my regular routine, but now I'm going to be just spending 2 days a week to edit a podcast. So I'm just going to spend, say, this hour and that hour. That's it. 2 hours, easy. I can do that.
Oh, yeah.
That falls into routine. It becomes your lifestyle, part of your lifestyle, right? So now you're like, this is routine. This is easy to do now. You know what? I'm going to start going to the gym 3 times a week. I have the time. I easily have the time.
Yeah.
Boom, gym. And it's like, now that's become a routine and a lifestyle. So it's like, and then so it's like, at first it's a little exhausting, right? As you throw it in. But then you suddenly become like, yo, this is easy to do. I feel like I could easily throw in another thing. So you throw in the next thing, right? You slowly build your lifestyle. You don't just flip it 180 overnight.
Yeah.
So that's nearly impossible. It's possible for the very few people that can actually do it. Most people, including myself, cannot do that.
No, some people can really like flip of a switch completely change it.
They're,
it's
they're
impressive.
animals. They're animals, bro.
But a majority of people cannot do that, dude. Like my baby step started with like, I was like, hey, I'm just going to start waking up and making my bed in the morning. Like right as I woke up, that was literally the first thing I did. And I got good at that. So then I like added more stuff.
I still got to do that.
I used to.
I don't make my bed.
That's all right. You're working on other things though. You know, I used to like never eat breakfast either. And now I'm like, okay, I have to have like a little snack. So now I make my bed and make breakfast and eat and go to work.
Now, let me ask you this real quick on that before, you know.
Oh, you're good.
Do you think implementing just these two things alone, making your bed and making breakfast before you start your day, have you noticed a difference of how you go about your day in a more positive way or negative way or the same?
I would, out of the two, I would say personally the most important one was making my bed. That just for some reason, immediately, like you accomplished a goal in the day 5 minutes after waking up. And you're like, shoot, all right, let's do the next one. You know, like it kind of hypes me up a little bit subconsciously. Yeah. Like I'm not making my bed and then jumping for joy, you know, but like I do it and it makes me feel good.
It's a lot more underlying in your brain. Right?
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah, it's just
on to the next
it's
thing.
like immediate relief in the morning. It's like, yeah, all right, what else can we accomplish today?
Especially, I feel like on your days off, it could keep you from like, all right, I've made my bed. I'm not about to just drop back onto it, lay on it, mess it up, and be on my phone. It's like, I'm gonna go do that on the couch instead. And then, you know, once you get in the habit of making your bed, when you go to the couch, you can now set a new habit of trying to not let yourself go on the couch. Maybe you set up your couch nice. You're like, I don't want to mess up the couch.
Yeah.
You know, like,
or like you do, or like with the couch, you do set up a different habit. Instead of having the remote there, maybe you've always wanted to read and you put a book there and you start like reading books on the couch instead of like sitting down and watching TV all day, you know, and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's very interesting how big of changes you can make in your life from just doing the smallest things.
It's all you need to start
repeatedly.
with. Yep, all you need to start with.
Consistency is literally key in every aspect of life.
Everything. And even if it's the smallest little detail, that'll take you miles further than you thought it would, but it will.
It's this quote I heard from the book Atomic Habits. Have you read that?
I've heard of the book. I've never read it.
There was this story of this biker or this. I can't. It's been a couple of years since I've read the book, but he was some kind of. I think he was a biker that did like the French. What is it called?
Like the Tour de France?
Yeah, Tour de France or something like that. I can't remember exactly.
Gotcha.
And they said, improve this bike by 1% every single day. And by the time a whole year has passed, that's 365% you've improved the bike. Do that. If you do that with your life, improve just one little thing in your life every single day, 1%. Within a year, you've improved your life by 365% within just 1 year.
Yeah.
Like, that's incredible.
That is insane.
You don't think about it until you think about it long term, right?
Yeah.
Like 1 year doing 1%, what is that? You know, it's like, then you think about, wait, that's 365 days.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
that is insane.
That is a lot of improvement there.
That is a ton. That's why small things, man.
Exactly. And that's why it's like, that's how you bite off what you can chew, just small things, and then eventually you can start throwing in bigger things because you're used to doing slightly less bigger things. You know,
exactly.
And it's cool. It's just interesting how the human mind works.
I know it's weird how it can fall into habits easily, but also it's so difficult at the same time. Like, it's weird.
Habits is what allow the human race to progress, and I do believe the progression has caused us to become more lazy, just naturally, you know, because now things are easy. You know, we don't have to hunt for our own food every morning to make sure our family is fed. We just, all right, I guess I'll just go spend a few hours at this job, you know, working 8 hours, whatever, and now I can go to the store, buy my family food that someone else has already done, right? So it's like, we're lazy now.
We're at the
Humans
top of the food
now.
chain. We don't have a natural predator.
Exactly.
We are everything's natural predator. Like, we've gotten lazy and so comfortable that, like, falling into bad patterns is understandable. It's understandable why people do it.
Exactly. No, because society is set up for us to be lazy.
Exactly.
So, and I think it's going to be a lot harder now than it probably was back then to get out of being lazy, to do what you need to do, because we don't have to. We can humans in first world countries like the United States can get away with living a lazy life their whole life.
Exactly. They can't.
That's why it's common.
Because you don't have to. You won't die if you don't do anything.
Right.
If you go to, like, even if you have a dumb job that you sit at a computer all day and you come home and do like nothing,
you can live a whole life doing that.
And you fully can. And some people are happy doing that.
Exactly.
Like, so some people, I get it, but a lot of people, man, they just don't want to live that. You know?
Right.
And so it's a lot harder to break out of that repetition for everyone.
Like back then, you know, during more primitive days, like you could not, if you had a family, you could not just sit, you know, sleep wherever it is you're sleeping, whether it's little huts or shacks or whatever, right? And just think, I'm going to take today off. Like, no, you can't do that. You have a family that's starving. Like, that you have to go out, hunt that tiger, hunt that deer. Like, you're going to you have to. You have no choice if you want to live.
Yeah, because if you're lazy today, you will die today. Like,
exactly.
We don't have that issue anymore, which thankfully we don't. But But
at the same time, it's like, you know what? And it's the people that can truly see that that will purposely seek, okay, how can I not be like this? How can I be better?
How can I do better? How can I live a more fulfilling life type
exactly
thing?
Yeah. So that's very interesting. Give me one sec. Damn, It's already been 40 minutes.
Dang, dude. These things go by quick.
Dude, I know. Like, it's once you just get deep into a conversation, it just goes.
It really does. It's pretty crazy.
I feel like the podcasts I've been shooting lately have been the best podcasts I've ever shot, just because it's like I finally am learning how to just not care about that there's a camera, not care there's a microphone, just talk and have a conversation.
In the conversation.
It's podcasting is literally changing my life.
Heck yeah. I love to hear that, obviously. So.
I'm super glad you can be a part of it, dude.
Yeah, me too. I'm pumped.
Huge shout out to you, man. You've been a huge help lately. Just like you've been inspiring me, man. Like,
I'm glad, dude.
just you wanting to help out and be a part of it, and just wanting to find your drive and find what you want to do, right, has been inspiring me, because it's like, man, if he's like willing to just do what he needs to find what he wants to do, like I got to keep going too. I can't let him down. If he's gonna be doing something, I gotta be doing something, right? Like, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, no problem at all, dude. I'm always happy to help and come on and talk or help out in any way possible. So,
dang, that's crazy. And you still don't want to plug your Instagram yet?
I still don't have an Instagram.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I'm still like, I need to make a new one, but that's something that I'm like not super worried about at the moment either. But yeah.
Well, one day, you know, the more as you kind of just be a part of this, which you guys are going to be seeing him a lot more in the future.
Fun stuff.
I'm really excited to have you a part of it.
Me too, man. I'm pumped.
You've been the most, out of everyone that's been wanting to be a part of it, you've been the most, as in like, you've been wanting to be in it more than anyone else that I've had so far. So I really appreciate you coming on, man.
Dude,
this has been awesome.
I'm excited. I love doing stuff like this.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Awesome.
It's like sick.
But one day, I promise, I will have an Instagram to plug. Just not today.
One day, Hunter Vodopich, at Hunter Vodopich.
Or something.
Or whatever.
Roughly around those lines.
Well, I'll help you set that up too.
That works, man.
I'm not even good at setting up social media. like doing... I can do the podcasting side really well now. I feel like I can set up the equipment right.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still working on lighting. Lighting's terrible still. It's just I just don't know why I can't figure it out.
You'll get there.
But when it comes to the online like promotion, social media, interactivity, stuff like that, I'm like, and like, or even just when I'm uploading my podcast, making thumbnails, metadata. It's like, do you know what metadata is?
I don't. I've never even heard of that.
So metadata is basically just the information that makes a video. Like, so like, for example, the title of something, the description, the tags.
Okay.
That is all metadata. Why is my computer not plugged in? That's not good. Hold up.
Oh. Quick intermission.
Intermission, yeah.
Something.
We're just about wrapping up anyways, but that's what metadata is.
Okay.
So... yeah, so it's like I feel like I still struggle a lot with that kind of stuff, which is why I just want to I want to be able to just make money now and just hire people to do that for me. Cause
that's fair.
I want to focus. My main focus is I just want to be able to focus on providing decent content.
Yeah,
you know, and
that makes sense.
And inspirational and valuable content for people.
Gotcha.
So,
that makes sense.
But hey, bro, I appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate it, dude. I always like coming on here. So
we'll definitely see you on here more often.
Heck yeah, no doubt.
Hell yeah, bro. All right, let's take it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you want to follow me on social media, me personally, I don't usually plug my personal one as much, but why not, right? It's just Reese Shalvis on Twitter, Instagram. And if you want to follow the podcast, it's just out at Reese's on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I have the Facebook.
Oh, Facebook now.
Facebook,
fancy.
Yeah. I don't know how to post to that either, but I guess I'm figuring it out. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, drop a like, subscribe, follow wherever it is you're listening. Daytime, nighttime, morning, evening, afternoon, it doesn't matter. Hope you guys have a good one. Peace.